Among the greatest tales ever written by Tolkien is the story of Beren and Luthien. Beren, a mortal man, wandered into the enchanted forests of Doriath after years of hardship, where he caught sight of Luthien, an immortal elf whose beauty seemed to stop time itself. The two fell deeply in love, but Luthien's father, King Thingol, refused to allow a mortal to marry his daughter. Believing the task impossible, he declared that Beren could only win her hand if he stole one of the priceless Silmarils from the iron crown of the Dark Lord Morgoth himself. Rather than abandon his love, Beren accepted the impossible quest. Luthien refused to let him face it alone, using her courage, wisdom, and extraordinary powers to rescue him again and again. Together they infiltrated Morgoth's fortress, where Luthien sang the Dark Lord and his court into an enchanted sleep. Beren managed to cut a Silmaril from Morgoth's crown, but their escape came at a terrible cost. After countless trials, battles, and sacrifices, Beren was eventually killed, leaving Luthien heartbroken. But the story does not end with death. Luthien's grief was so profound that she pleaded before the powers of the world, and her love moved them to grant Beren life once more. She then made an extraordinary choice: to surrender immortality so they could live out the rest of their lives together as mortals. Their story remains one of Tolkien's most enduring because it shows that true love is measured not by comfort or destiny, but by sacrifice. Beren and Luthien overcome impossible odds, defy even death itself, and remind readers that love, willing to give everything, can become more powerful than fear, darkness, and even time. Speaking of love, I love ATK. This is the ATK Blazing Sky X1 Air Plus, mouthful, and in it is something that I've only used once before in the ATK Dragonfly A9 Ultimate Plus, that being the PixArt 3955 sensor. This is just barely bigger than the ATK A9 and takes, more after the shape of a Razer product, as you can see right there in the front. But I am ridiculously excited to start test driving this thing. So with a 3955 sensor and a Razer sort of feel to it, I'm looking forward to this thing quite a bit. After just having my hand on it for a little while, I can already tell you I'm a little concerned about what I'm going to be doing with my pinky and my ring finger. I do sometimes on symmetrical mouse just sort of curl them up on the sides like this. It's not exactly comfortable, but ergo mice are typically like my shape of mice because I don't have to think about what to do with these two fingers. The rest of the mouse feels comfortable though. It's not pressing up into my palm a whole lot, but right here in the center of my palm all the way up to almost the tips of my fingers feels pretty well covered. The grooves that they have on mouse 1 and 2 here up on these top plates is very comfortable. They feel pretty deep, so your finger sits in there like really nicely. This scroll wheel is fantastic. I don't know just from a feel test if it's the same scroll wheel that they would have on like the A9 Ultimate Plus. Can't tell, but it feels really nice nonetheless. They've always had a nice feeling scroll wheel to me. But yeah, there's a good side shot of her just in case you would want to see. That right there is how I would typically grip a mouse. I would typically like for it to sit a little bit more like that, but my fingers would be touching my mouse pad, hanging way over it. And either way, I don't like to talk a whole lot about how clicks feel, how side buttons feel, and all that kind of stuff, because you're not actually the one here using it. I am. I talk about shape a lot because shape is something very important to me. I'm a genuine believer in shape as something that can make you play better, because if you have your ideal shape of mouse, you're just 10 times more comfortable, like no matter what. I may try holding this one a little bit further back, maybe fingertip it just a little bit. Yeah, for a cheap symmetrical mouse, it's really not bad on the comfort scale. This right side right here is pretty straight up and down. The left side right over here, you can see has a little bit of an in curve to it. But yeah, super cool mouse. And I know nobody needs to see it again, but just in case, here is the ATK hub. This is where you're going to customize your DPI. Go to performance settings over here. I'm on 2K polling. It's a really nice, well-organized WebDriver. I've always really liked this WebDriver. I've got motion sync off down to 0.7 lot heights. I've got the dongle showing the battery life. And I think the Blazing Sky Z1 has a 500 milliamp hour battery in it, which I know a lot of people do not feel the same way, but I think should be like standard. Maybe 300 should be standard. I enjoy bigger battery, even if that's at the cost of weight, yes, because I just got done testing and recording all of my footage for the Lamzu Thorn V2. This thing, while having a 300 milliamp hour battery, you have to charge it like every 2 days or so. It's kind of infuriating, I'm not gonna lie. Did test the AM Infinity mouse. I have a video about that one. It has a hot swappable battery in it, and they're good batteries. Without the hot swappable battery in it, it weighs 39 grams. With the battery in it, it weighs 49, so it's still super light. I wish that more mice would start implementing something like that, or just normalize putting a big ass battery in a gaming mouse. The name of the game is convenience. If convenience for you is not having to charge your mouse a ton, then there should be a market for that. If convenience for you is having the lightest mouse humanly possible, something like a G-Wolf's Lycan at 29 grams, or some of the insane like 3D printed stuff that's down to like 20, 19, 18 grams, there should be a market for that too. There's nothing as like high end as this, with great sensor, great Nordic chip, you know, great feeling switches, great feeling encoder, and everything that has that huge battery life. This is the closest thing you're going to be able to find. Top of the line sensor, good feeling clicks, good feeling scroll, all of that, and a good battery life. And this is only 49 grams. But I think there should always be something like, you know, even if it's just like a back burner product or something from Razer or Logitech, they should make something like that. Because the Razer DeathAdder V4 Pro had the most impressive battery of any mouse I've ever had, but it did not have a WebDriver. This literally just ticks all of the boxes, but without that super premium feel. Now, there's nothing wrong with the feel of it. I literally can't get this thing to flex or creak at all. Super sturdy build. The coating feels fine, but if you're really thinking about it too much, you can see and feel that this thing does feel like a budget mouse, which, I mean, it is. It's going to feel that way. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts on it. I'm excited to be gaming with this thing. I'm also a little worried to be gaming with this thing. I love ATK stuff. I don't particularly perform well with ATK stuff, but I have an Ergo mouse from them that I'm waiting to test, so maybe that'll be the one for me. But yeah, initial feeling, great mouse, and I'm excited to get more into it. Ideal shape and decent technology, or not so ideal shape, but top of the line technology. Shape versus performance. Which one's better? This is an Ergo mouse made by ATK. This is the ATK Z1 Ultimate. I'm going to go ahead and replace the skates on the bottom of this thing. They feel atrocious on my Wallhack mouse pad. Ergo shapes are my shape. There has never been an Ergo mouse that I have thought this thing feels like crap in my hands, whereas I almost always will feel that way about a symmetrical mouse. This is among the better symmetrical mice. This one, the Gravistar Mercury X Pro, the Dragonfly A9 by ATK as well as the WL Mouse Beast X Max. Those have been some really good feeling symmetrical mice, but overall, most of them just feel really awkward. As I described earlier, this has some of those problems, though with the Z1, like almost all Ergo mice, my ring and pinky finger just sort of naturally find themselves right there on the side. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. There's no edge that's sort of driving into them, making me need to like curl them up like so. It's long enough for my very large hands to comfortably play it palm style. Its hump is high enough to where right here, just sort of the middle of my palm, feels very well supported, and I can easily rest my wrist down on my mouse pad, counting on my Wallhack gaming sleeve for the rest of the glide. This shape feels pretty damn perfect, though it is equipped with a lesser sensor than the X1 Air Plus. As mentioned before, X1 Air Plus has a PixArt 3955. Here we just have a PixArt 3950. I say just have. PixArt 3950s are still premium sensors. They're great. This is just one step above, but I want to look at some comparisons. You can immediately see pretty big shape difference there. The Z1 Ultimate has greater width, greater height, and greater weight, though shorter in length. Both of these mice weigh under 55, the X1 Air Plus at 48 grams, the Z1 at 54. My ideal ballpark is like 45 to 55, I typically say. We have symmetrical for the X1, ergo for the Z1. And here we go. PixArt Paw 3955. PixArt Paw 3950, supposedly slightly worse. Now to show you some similarities in this mouse, very similar in shape to something like the Pulsar X-Lite series, WL Mouse Sword X, which is one of my favorite ergo mice ever. Similarities to some Zowie stuff, very similar to Zowie actually. I will say before I start the true comparison between these two and choosing whichever one I think is the best, either one of these mice is absolutely worth spending your money on. If you know that you like the shape of a Razer Viper mouse, this is absolutely something you could go with if you're on a budget. I've had no problems ever at all with ATK stuff working or not working or any of that. And this thing feels incredible. You can put dot skates on there. It comes with grip, it comes with extra skates, it comes with an 8K dongle, it has an incredible battery life. Fantastic. If you know that you like something from Pulsar, you're on a budget, this is absolutely something you can go with. Good skates, I am going to replace them, but good skates probably feel better on cloth. Shape is phenomenal, fits my hand wonderfully. 8K pulling, big battery life. There's nothing to complain about. There's hardly any reason at all, unless you just know for a fact that it's your dream mouse, to be spending so much money on a gaming mouse in 2026. These things stand up to the best among them, and they are a fraction of the cost. I got the X1 Air Plus for $62. I got the Z1 Ultimate for $59. You can find these on AliExpress with coupons that make them even cheaper. You can get them just straight off of the ATK website, and they're always just handing you out a free coupon for like 5% off, 10% off, whatever it may be. These are phenomenal deals for mice that will last you, hardly give you any problems, if any at all. Great web-based software that's never steered me wrong or gone wrong in any way for me, and I just can't recommend them enough. Enough glazing, which is better, performance or shape? Let's find out.
Op 4, last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful. Op 4 last stop standing. Drop. Eliminated. Friendly mission successful. Op 4 is defusing a bomb. You need to disable the diffuser. Op 4 last
I got your cross.
Friendly, last operator standing. Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect the diffuser. Op 4 eliminated. Your location has been compromised.
Own a razor blade.
Bomb diffuser is located. Protect the bombs. Disable the diffuser. Last operator. Friendly, last operator standing. Been spotted. Disable the bomb diffuser. Good work.
Oh,
Mission successful.
Yes? Roger that. Reloading, cover me!
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful. Been compromised. Friendly.
Aircraft, let me swap them out.
Op 4 remaining. Op 4 neutralized. One Op 4 remaining.
Changing mag.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
Bloody brilliant. It stands on its own.
The diffuser is now secured. You located a bomb. You have dropped the diffuser.
Oh, right on the wall. Game's wall.
Reloading.
One op 4
Loading
remaining.
mag.
The diffuser has been recovered.
Reload.
Op 4 eliminated.
Rooney's stuck.
15 seconds left. One op 4 remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Timing. Op 4, last stop standing.
Sensor on. Let's see what I can find. Non-suspect scan.
너무 조용하군.
Friendly's victorious.
Going zone.
Four last operators standing.
East could plant. Nice.
Op 4 eliminated.
Target acquired.
On your left, I think bandits there left, Blackbeard.
You must recover.
Target! Basement!
Longer in your possession.
Okay, so as you have hopefully seen, you can perform very well with either one of these mice. People will shy away from them often, I feel, just because they're a budget mouse, but this is a very familiar feeling and great ergo shape with a 3950 sensor, which is better than even even a lot of mice that are coming out in 2026 still rocking the 3395. This one, the sensor was not the problem in any way, shape, or form. The sensor was incredible while I was playing with the X1 right here. The 3955, the 3950 both feel great on a glass mouse pad. I'm using a Wallhack SP004. Which would I say is better? To be totally honest with you, shape is king. Of the X1 and the Z1, I am picking the Z1 all day. Shape is something that no matter what mouse you're using, it can be the mouse with the greatest specs in the entire world. If the shape is wrong for you, you're not going to play well with it. This particular symmetrical shape, I am not a huge fan of. This ergo shape is just right. Feels incredible for me. A symmetrical shape that I do like would be like on the ATK Dragonfly A9 Ultimate Plus. That is a better symmetrical shape for me than this is. This very much takes after the Razer Viper series, and the A9 takes after the Superlight series. So I guess the Superlight shape, if that's what you're looking for, go for the A9. I got that one for like $70 as well, so it's stupid cheap. One of the best sensors you can get in the 3955. Nothing is wrong with either one of these, but I would pick a well-made sturdy ergo mouse with a lesser sensor rather than a top-of-the-line sensor with an uncomfortable symmetrical shape. I would take the ergo mouse any day of the week. Hopefully this was somewhat informative and you enjoyed the gameplay that I provided. Don't shy away from budget mice. You can get some incredible stuff, even in-game level gear from budget mice companies like Attack Shark, ATK, VGN, MCHOs, all of that for so much cheaper than you're going to get anything from like Lamzu, Razer, Final Mouse. The clicks may be something you'll have to get used to, but they do not feel bad in any sense. I prefer the clicks on the Z1 anyway. These clicks don't feel great to me, though they do have that very like Razer loud sound to them. It would be funny if that was like a shot at Razer for how loud their clicks are. But yeah, don't shy away from ATK or any of those other companies that I named. These are two fantastic mice. I can easily see myself maining this one. I do essentially have almost the same mouse, but a little bigger, a little more comfortable to the shape, and with a better sensor in the Lamzu Thorn V2. So I'm going to put this one away and be using the Lamzu as my main mouse for quite a while. But if you're into ergo shapes, check this one out. If you're strapped for cash but you are dying for a new mouse, check either one of these out. And these are just two options of the tons and tons of options that ATK has available. On their website, you'll find almost any mouse to fit the shape that you like. So please check them out if you're in need of a new mouse and you don't have like $170 to spend. And some of you may be different. If you try either one of these and, the ergo feels better, but you like the way that the 3955 sensor plays on the X1 Air Plus, and you think that just actually having a better sensor is better, let me know. Feel free to disagree with me about any of my takes. I love reading y'all's comments. I like responding to them, starting up discussion about them. But yeah, if you have either one of these or you want to check either one of them out and compare them yourself, go for it. And please, let me know what you think. I'll always be interested to hear your takes. But yeah, if y'all want to see any other budget mice, I've covered the Attack Shark V8, which is incredible. I've covered now the ATK X1 and Z1. I've done the Zalpin Z2 Mini, God rest its awful soul, and I've done the ATK A9 Ultimate. Those are the budget mice that I've covered so far. If you want to see any other budget mice, or you've heard great things about other budget mice that you would just like want to see a video on, please let me know that stuff too. As usual, super impressed with ATK. They do a fantastic job. Also want to hopefully encourage you in something. Any peripheral that you have, whether that be a webcam that you use all the time that you really like, microphone, mouse, monitor, mouse pad, any of that, find a way to reach out to those companies of those products that you really, really like. Just send them a thank you. Most of the time, the support for those companies is just getting hit with, why doesn't my fucking thing work? It sucks. Fix it right now. So just brighten their day a little bit by just sending them a thank you note, telling them that you love their product and their labor is not in vain. Show them some love. They, especially in ATK's case, it's clear that they are trying and they're offering great stuff for so much less money. So be encouraging rather than ever just choosing anger and just deciding to put people down, That's a theme that I've had while playing Rainbow Six Siege. It's a theme I'm trying to work on with peripherals and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I can encourage you on some of that stuff. Anyway, that's it from me. This was not a head-to-head video, but it was a comparison video, and just my winner is the Z1V2 Ultimate. Z1V2 Ultimate is Mountain Meat certified. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for sticking around. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.